Hey, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for joining our webinar today. My name's Trevor Jacobson. My colleagues are Roe Lavie and Alex Morose. Over the next half an hour, we'll discuss practical strategies and technologies that can help your financial organization detect, effectively manage, and respond to privilege misuse. You guys are going to love it. You can go to the next slide, Roe. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to type it in the section right away. Don't forget those questions, type them in, and we'll go on the last slide there and go through all of your questions. Our agenda for today is going to be, first off, and Roe's going to take you guys through the first 3 sections we have here. He'll take you through PAM challenges for financial organizations. Second off, he's going to go from investigation to response framework. And then he'll go to case studies on securing finance environments. So 3 great subjects. After that, Alex from our team is going to walk you through a full Syteca live platform demonstration. And then, like I mentioned, type those questions right away so you don't forget those questions. We'll go to those at the end of the Q&A. Over to you, Roe.
Thank you, Trevor. Good to be here and happy to kick off this great event. Now, please, let's move forward and share some insights. Well, as you can see, these are the 6 most pain points preventing financial organization from controlling privilege access. Without full visibility and end-to-end control, every other security control actually becomes a patch. And this isn't theoretical. Is translated directly into financial regulatory risks. As Trevor said, privilege misuse leads to real operational, financial, and regulatory damage. Privilege is where the blast radius becomes the most expensive. And when it happens, regulators already involved. Now let's align on what they actually require. Well, as you can see, these are the following harshest regulation in the world. Regulation requires the following: least privilege, MFA, monitoring, surely audit trails, and last but not least, separation of duties. It's not enough to manage access. You must prove control continuously around your environment. So, how do organizations operationalize this? With modern PAM plus ITDR. Some of you are aware, but some of you don't. Syteca delivers the most modern PAM built for identity-driven attacks with ITDR and response capabilities. This is no longer just a password vault. It's a real-time identity defense. Now let's break it into 4 value layers. One is governance. The second is prevention. The third is investigation. And the last one is response. Syteca is built to fast deploy and fast to scale. Governance with just-in-time access, approvals, identity validation, which is most important today because the identity is the new attack surface, and of course, web session control. The goal is to eliminate standing privilege and introduce the right friction before risky actions. Next, we prevent identity incidents before they even begin. Endpoint controls, MFA, OTP, approval workflows, and time-based access. Strong prevention removes the most incidents before they become investigations. Now let's have a quick zoom into an endpoint control and review what we can get out of it. Well, as you can see in the photo on the right, granular control over who accesses what, when, and how. This is where admins, vendors, and surely contractors just log in for a minute, give me quick administration right so I can perform the necessary action based on my job. This is where the risk starts. And sustainable control requires strong credential management, all in one place. All is mentioned in the slide. Well, secure credential storage, automated rotation, and role-based access. The real value isn't storing passwords. It's making them temporary, controlled, visible to the right people so they can use it for the right time and for a limited time based. So how do we start? Well, first we need to onboard them. So let's move forward and see how we onboard new privileged users. Syteca presents end-to-end privileged account governance, from first discovery to continuous control. So we have three major steps here. First one, set up the discovery rule. Automatically scan your environment to uncover hidden and shadow privilege accounts. No need for spreadsheets, no blind spots, all in one place. Now we onboard them. So we review and onboard discoverable accounts in one click, and then we apply policies instantly, from visibility to control, in minutes. Lastly, we enforce. We continuously monitor, rescan, and enforce policies in order to prevent privilege drift. Always controlled, always compliant. And if you haven't heard about it, then you must know that control reduces risks. Investigations reduces impact. Well, fast root cause understanding with strong evidence, while in financial world, it's amazingly great value. Time and evidence-determined control are the key to success. Let's have a look on how visibility actually works in Syteca. Searchable session recordings with metadata, indexed smartly, alongside with file tracking. Well, basically, we're not reviewing hours of video. What we're actually doing is pinpointing exact action instantly. And now we add a deeper behavioral visibility. While capturing activity in order to protect sensitive information, it's actually compliance by design. Evidence without exposing confidential data. But detection alone isn't enough. We must also respond in real time. And this is how we do it. Real-time risk signals and automated response actions. The objective is all about reducing the response time from hours to seconds. So here how response looks in practice. Ready-to-use built-in alerts in order to apply in seconds. Custom rules depends on your environment needs. Automated mitigation. You can either notify or immediately block, terminate, and rotate the credentials. And after response comes the reporting. Let's see what we can get out of it. Well, in Syteca, you got built-in audit-ready reporting for regulators and investigations. When auditors ask questions, the evidence is already structured and ready. Now let's talk scale and coverage. You know, what's great about Syteca is that it fits to whatever environment you already have. Whatever your teams work on, Windows, Mac OS, Linux, Unix, any virtual or cloud environment, it just works. and its enterprise scale coverage. Now let's connect this to a real customer outcome. Well, real financial sector use cases and results. Capabilities matter, but outcomes matter most. Let's start with, for example, a Swift environment. We got Syteca Bank. Syteca Bank asks for visibility and control over Swift access and compliance. Swift is a real-time money, so even small gaps become major incidents. So here is what Swift protection actually requires. Preventing compromise and high-risk privilege accounts. This is where PAM and monitoring must operate together, singly. And this feeds directly into the SIEM where the SOC team can operate and respond. Centralized analysis, real-time alerts, and enriched context. Context is all about business today, I must say. Syteca adds the who, the what, and when behind every access event. As you may see, we got a part of the solution is here where we can record user activity monitoring, we can forward the access logs, we can have real-time events, and we can record the login attempts. This is crucial. Visibility is everything today. Now let's move to another customer scenario. Controlling third-party and vendor access to sensitive systems. Supply chain access is often the weakest entry points, and actually the most popular in the recent years. And this is where secure remote access becomes essential. Control remote sessions for vendors and employees. Well, remote access must be monitored with limited and audible. You have 4 challenges. Protecting crucial servers, record user sessions wherever it's remote or local, including full audit. You get automatic updates for isolated environments, especially in the financial sector. And you got effective access control and easy to use management. Let's close with the overall value. So what we got here is unified PAM platform, enabling control, full visibility, easy to do compliance, and response in real time. So what we have here is from governance to response. This is a single operational layer for privileged access security. Now, it's my honor to move and pass the torch to our Alex. Alex, now it's your time to shine up.
Thank you, Roy. Hello, everyone. So we will move straight into the hands-on portion. You'll see the product in action, including which buttons to click to configure it and start using it right away. So I'm going to share my screen now. And I believe that you should see it right now. So as mentioned earlier, Syteca combines 2 solutions in one product, Privileged Access Management, PAM, and Identity Threat Detection and Response, ITDR. In this demo, we will walk through the typical workflow users follow, and we will begin with PAM functionality and then slide into ITDR. So first step is account discovery. I'm going to use another one. The first step, account discovery. Account discovery is a core component of PAM. It allows you to scan the domain for Active Directory accounts, and essentially you're looking for 2 types of accounts. The first one, you're looking for shadow accounts, so you would like to find accounts of the people that left the company already, but still have some active accounts, and someone can use these active accounts to access your resources. It might be this people that left the company, or it can be someone else that uses exposed accounts. So we would like to find these accounts because sometimes you don't even know that someone created this account. It can be someone from administrators that created some extra accounts with administrative permissions and privileges, and you didn't know about it. So we would like to find these accounts and probably delete them. And the second type of accounts that you're looking for, account of the people that are working for the company, everything is fine. They have active account. However, they might not need that much privileges and permissions that they have to perform their work and work duties. So we would like to consider maybe cut some of these privileges. So with account discovery, you can ensure that you organize your accounts within your organization. And once you have done it, you would like your people, your employees, your users to start using secrets instead of manual typed in credentials. And secrets are basically some kind of boxes with credentials and some extra configurations on top of this. So we have a few types of secrets. We have Active Directory, we have Windows, Linux, web applications, and MS SQL secrets. So you can create them to access your resources within your infrastructure. And we have a few configurations on top of these secrets, on top of these credentials to access your resources. The first one is probably one of the most crucials because most of the companies use some third-party companies, subcontractors to help them maintain databases, audit their infrastructure, maybe sometimes help with some particular task or something like this. And in this case, these people are not working within your company, and they're not sharing the same table with you. And you sometimes don't even know that it is actually these people that you expect that access your resources. So it might be sometimes someone else that are using this credential. So we would like to have this a little bit more control on these people. And with these restrictions, you might have this bit more control. Because first of all, if this third-party company or subcontractor here with you just for 1 week to perform some database fixing or something like this, you can share this secret and access to the database only just for the next week. And after this week's access is going to be terminated automatically without any extra actions. And moreover, you can specify the specific working hours for this person or the person that is going to have access to your part of the infrastructure on like regular basis. So you can make them to use the secret during working hours only. So there won't be the case when someone accesses your database in the middle of the night, start to jeopardize or misconfigure this database or even like expert database, and you can't even react because everyone is sleeping. It's the middle of the night. So in this case, they can access your database only during the working hours when you can react to this. And in case you have the most critical parts of your infrastructure, like, again, like we are talking about database, so let it be database, or some production database with sensitive data about your company or the customers of your company, in this case, you can make users to use secrets only under access request approval. So in this case, let's say you shared the secret to me, I'm Alex, I'm going to create the access request to use the secret. I'm going to specify the reason why I want to use this secret. And the responsible person, like Alberto, maybe David, is going to review this access request and say, okay, it's valid, and Alex need to access this database right now. Or I don't know why Alex would like to access the database right now. I'm going to go and ask him, maybe reject this access request to the secret. On top of this, we can automatically rotate the password in your secrets, and not only secrets, if it's account if it's active directory account or Windows or Linux accounts, we can rotate the password in these accounts and in the secret as well. It can be done on a weekly basis, on a daily, hourly, or even minutes basis. And of course, you can record everything that is going on under the secret usage. You can rotate the password once user is logged out, or you can even log out the user, force logout of the user after some specific period of time, like 4 hours, 8 hours, or something like this. So there won't be the case when someone with a valid access some infrastructure and stays there logged in like forever, like for 1 month, 1 week, something like this. So you can make them to forcibly logged out from this instance directly. The secrets can be shared like on a role-based model. It can be shared to specific users, it can be shared to the group of user departments or the level of the permissions they need to have. We have a few options to run the secret. So the first option is agentless, totally agentless solution. So in this case, you grant the access to the users to this web interface. You can set up the two-factor authentication on top of this and grant the permission to see only stuff they need to see. So they are going to see only password management, for example. You share the secrets they need to use on a daily basis or temporary basis. And in this case, they're going to see the list of secrets, they're going to see where they're going to connect, they're not going to see the password in this case, they're just going to see the launch button, so they can connect with this button to the instance they are connecting to. And it's going to use connection within the browser only. It is a similar RDP connection, just using a browser. You're connected to this virtual machine, you can perform your work duties, whatever the reason you used to look into this virtual machine. The same about Linux clients and other secrets as well. The second option that you have to use secrets, it's one of the most common in the industry. You just create the jump server, you install Syteca Desktop Connection Manager on the jump server. You can even replace the Windows shell with Syteca Desktop Connection Manager, so the user, when they log into the jump server, they're not going to see anything on the jump server except the connection manager, so they can jeopardize this jump server environment. They're going to see the same list of secrets that are shared to them. They're going to see the connect button, click connect, and connect to the target endpoint. And the third option, you install Syteca Desktop Manager directly on the workstations of your employees, of the users that are going to use the secret. And in this case, they're going to see the same list of secrets and connect to the target endpoint directly from the workstations. So with secrets and account discovery, you can ensure that you have organized your accounts, you ensure that the correct person has access to the correct endpoint and everything is fine at this end. However, sometimes you can guarantee that the person with a valid access can jeopardize this environment, can mess up on this. So in this case, you can turn on ITDR part, and you can monitor what is going on actually when they use secrets, when they log into the target endpoint. And you can see that we can monitor and record the screen itself. You can see it on the left side. It can be screenshots, it can be video stream, it can be colorful, it can be grayscale, so you can adjust the quality of this recording. On the right side of the screen, you can see the metadata of the user activities, and it's probably one of the most important functionality in the monitoring, because you can check what kind of applications this user opened, what kind of activities within the applications this user performed, like saving Excel, we can see it here, and so on. You can also track what kind of web application visited by user, what kind of keystrokes, key login, copy paste, even file uploading performed on the end of this target endpoint. And the monitoring and recording this metadata allow us to offer you one more powerful functionality called alerts. And you can see this ring bells here on the player. And these are alerts that are triggered within this session. We have some predefined default alerts that you can use from the day zero using Syteca. And also you can create your custom alerts, whatever you would like to track and monitor. And it's going to be based on the application or visited websites or something like this. In this case, we captured that someone storing passwords manually in a clear text, and it means that someone is not using secrets, that are using manual password. They know the password, and if they know the password, they can transfer this password, they can message this password in the messengers, and in the end of the day, you don't know who has access to this resource. So you would like to know if someone used passwords and manually type them in, and probably you would like to move them using secrets. And as I mentioned, you can customize and you can create your own alerts. And the most critical cases that we can discuss, for example, if someone run PowerShell or command prompt and they run some really bad commands like misconfiguring database or export database or erase database or erase system folders, we can detect these actions. We can instantly notify you via emails. And if you would like to, we can take an automatic action on behalf of you and kill the application, in this case, PowerShell or command prompt. So we are going to help you prevent these cases. So you're not going to react to the incident, you are going to prevent incident itself. This is the core functionality that I wanted to show you. In addition to everything that we have covered, Syteca offers even more functionality, such as scanning for SSH public keys during account discovery, or enabling two-factor authentication when user is logged into the target endpoint, or even deeper SIM integrations and more. So feel free to reach us out, and I'm passing my word to Trevor.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Rowie. We can get into the questions now, but that was excellent from both of you. Let's see. Let's pop open the questions. So if you didn't ask any questions and you do have questions now, feel free to put it in there. And let's see, we have a few questions from, first off, Anonymous says, if a regulator asks proof of what happened in a privileged session, how fast can your product provide it? So if a regulator asks for proof of what happened in a privileged session, how fast can we provide that for them?
Well, let me grab that question. I think it's an interesting one. Well, practically, you can use Syteca to extract the proof necessary to provide to the regulator. Well, basically, it takes seconds. Every privileged session in Syteca is recorded, it's indexed, and it's searchable. You can export a full session recording. You can extract the commands executed. You can state which files accessed or transferred, timestamps of the user activity, screenshots and keystrokes, complete audit trail report, and more than 30 ad hoc reports built in, so you can generate it in a few seconds and just ship it over. Also, you can filter by user, by date, or risk level and generate a structured report on the spot. So, and also you can even schedule it, but that doesn't matter. There isn't a reconstruction process. Your evidence already exists. So it's immutable, it's timestamp, and it's ready to export whatever you need.
Awesome. The next question here is, do you have encryption, like passwords and other sensitive stuff, we need to comply with the NIST 2?
Oh, yeah, sure. Thank you for the question. Yes, we support the encryption. We support the AES 256 for a password and all stuff like this encryption.
Nice. Next one is, what specific events or behaviors do you flag as risky in a privileged session? Any examples of real detection?
On my part, I can share one. Well, actually, that's a real life example that surely will fit in. We deployed a new customer about 3 months ago. It was a successful project. And a few days after we went live with the customer, one of the vendor's employee who managed their servers logged in on a Friday morning, which is the time that the company itself isn't working. And it's outside this typical working pattern. So once that user is logged in to Syteca, within minutes, Syteca detected a sequence of risky behaviors, which included, to best of my knowledge, the following. Access to personal webmail from a production server that unfortunately wasn't blocked to the internet. They logged in to a personal AI chatbot account. I can't share what, but it's one of the popular ones. And last, but most importantly, they uploaded internal documents for external analysis. So this wasn't just an unusual login. It was a risky behavioral sequence. Unfortunately, for the customer and for the CISO that almost lost his entire sleep, the time is crucial in this event. So Syteca correlated the time anomaly, the sensitive production asset, and the external data transfer activity. So a real-time alert was sent to the SIEM. The CISO immediately received it, opened the live session through the management console of Syteca. He reviewed the activity, and then he blocked the user from the entire network in one click. So basically, the flow was detection, investigation, response, all within minutes. That's the difference between log collection and behavioral intelligence. And that's what the regulators in the financial institution or financial sector actually requests. Hope I was able to answer that properly.
That was great. That was great. We love the real life examples. We love to hear that. Next one's, we have a large network with many branches and departments. How does this scale in that kind of environment?
I'm going to take this one. So yes, we have the functionality. Syteca supports multi-tenant functionality, and if you want to separate organizational units within the platform and prevent one unit to using another unit's data, you can use tenants, and it is kind of a recommended approach.
Awesome. And then this will be the last question. If nobody has any they've thought of, feel free to type them in again right now. But the last question here is, what does fast to deploy mean in practice? Typical timeline, team size, and key implementation steps.
That's a good one. Thank you for the question. Of course, it depends on the size of the deployment and the functionality that's been used. In general, installing Syteca itself usually takes about 1 to 1.5 hours. And then you have to configure it, obviously. So I would say that in case we include the configuration for the small deployments, it usually takes about a single day, something like this. And for medium-sized deployments, it may take just a few days, something like this. For large deployments, it depends heavily on internal company policies, as large organizations often deploy the solution in a sandbox first, check it, go through some internal approvals and validation processes. So, however, if I had to estimate, it typically takes about a week for a large deployment, something like this.
And I want to add something to what Alex said. I know this is part of the charm of Syteca. It's not about adding more load on the cybersecurity division at any customer's environment. It's about ease. It's about providing means to an end. And when I mean means to an end, it's visibility, it's control, it's being reactive to incidents. And what Syteca does is provide out of the box complete setup and easy to use a system that takes hours for medium-sized organization and days for enterprise-grade organization. But once you set it up, it's practically automatically works for you. So for CISOs, it changes their lives, because other cybersecurity system you need to deploy takes a huge amount of time to deploy, months, huge amount of employees to manage, maintain, update. Syteca makes it easy to use, truly does. And you need to, if you don't have it, then you need to start a trial today and take it for a test drive.
And we're here for that. We're here for that. There were 2 more questions that came through. So feel free still, if you have any questions that just came to mind, feel free to type them in there. We can go through them. But the next question here is going to be, how do you integrate with SIM SOC tools? Which alerts are sent and how much context is included?
I'm going to take this one. Syteca sends information about the session itself, so about the client online, offline status, and details about this session, like operating system, user, IP addresses, and such activities, including opened application, visited websites, and so on. Additionally to this, just to the session information, Syteca also forwards alert-related information, so including like alert ID, alert names, description, who triggered this alert, and where it was triggered, and all this stuff. So you can gather the information about the sessions and about the suspicious activities within the sessions as well.
Nice, awesome. Looks like we have a few more coming in here. So we have, how is PAM evolving to address rise of remote and hybrid work models in fintech or neobanks? So how is PAM evolving to address the rise of remote and hybrid work models for fintech?
Yeah, thank you for the question. I'm probably going to take this one as well. So in this case, if you have some remote or hybrid types of employees, and they work in somewhere using a laptop, and they can even, someone can even steal this laptop, so something like this. So you have to ensure that you still secure your resources with all this type of activities, and it actually is this person that is going to access your resources. So first of all, you would like to make it easier for your employees. So regarding the PAM, you can use this agentless solution to access your target endpoints. And moreover, you can use the jump server to make your employees to connect to the jump server, and you can use the Syteca Desktop Connection Manager that is installed directly on the workstations of your employees, on this laptop of your employees. So all three options are on the table in case we are talking about the remote employees. However, you would like to have this a bit more control because they're working remotely, and you have to ensure that it is actually this person that is going to access your endpoint, access your virtual machine, access your critical parts of the infrastructure. So in this case, we encourage customers to turn on at least two-factor authentication on the endpoint. So in this case, even if someone steals this laptop of your employee somewhere in the restaurant or coffee or something like this, and it was turned on and they can access the system and even PAM system, if you talk about this case, even if they use the secret to log into some of your Windows servers or something like this, they have to confirm with Microsoft or Google authenticators that it is actually this person. So yes, we encourage you to use secrets. You can choose the option to launch the secrets, like via web-based launch, via jump server, or from the local workstation of your employees. And we encourage you to use and enable two-factor authentication.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you. Looks like we have one more question. This is from Feroz. And Feroz asked, in many fintech environments, PAM gives session visibility, but file level data lineage is still missing. How are banks bridging the gap between privileged session monitoring and actual sensitive data movement tracking?
Oh, this is the something that I'm probably going to reshare my screen and show it. This functionality. Just give me a second. This is something that Roy mentioned just during the presentation. I'm going to share my screen. Trevor, let me know if we can see the screen.
Yep, we can see.
So yeah, so this is one of the sessions that uses sensitive data masking, and sensitive data masking is something that allows us to mask just the particular information that is on the screen. So in this case, I just would like to find the most representative, this one. I know where to click. So in this case, we are recording the screen, we are recording the active windows, like you can see it is Outlook. And in this case, one of the employees just sent the information that is included the credit card number. And we could detect that it was a credit card number using regular expressions. So you can set up your own regular expressions that you would like to cover with this case. So we detected that it is a credit card number, that it is a sensitive data, and we blurred this information. So, and it's going to be blurred like forever. So you can still record everything except the sensitive data that you would like to mask. And it can be like, as I said, anything that you would like to cover with regular expressions. It can be phone numbers, it can be like tax numbers, and so on. So it's
a serial number, yeah.
Yeah, serial numbers
and that you define, yeah.
Yeah, so and anything that you would like to cover with regular expression. And it's really valuable for, as it was mentioned in a question, for banking, because you have a lot of sensitive data that you would like probably not to expose every now and then. And also it is valuable for healthcare companies, as you have to comply with HIPAA or other regulations that are covered in different countries, and usually these regulations say something that you have to take care about the sensitive data of your customers, and it is one of the ways that you can take care of it. The second option that you have, we also have customizable monitoring for each client, for each agent. It can be grouped as well, but the thing is that you can make this to monitor or not to monitor some specific applications. So you can specify that, for example, you do not want to monitor this application because this application includes a lot of sensitive data or something like this, and we are going to monitor everything except this application.
Exactly. What I would like to add to Alex's elaborated answer is that you can decide what to record and what not to record, and if we accidentally record a sensitive data, then you can use the sensitive data masking feature as Alex showed. But if we can detect the specific text, then we mask the entire screen. Also, if you want to be extra precise in the recording, then you can choose in the user activity recording. Alex, if you can go to that tab for a second, user activity recording.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so in the activity recording configuration, as you can see, you got interval capture, which is currently activated, or you have, which is recently released to the public, is full motion capture. For example, we had a customer that is in the financial area who said, listen, I got an employee that is accidentally went to his credit card data, and then from the same tab in Chrome went to a sensitive system inside the organization. He said, I don't want to record his private details. So while he switched to full motion capture, through milliseconds, we were able to capture only the necessary data and not the private. So combining sensitive data masking with full motion capture was able him to comply with regulation and company security policies.
Yeah, thank you, Roy. I would add that with applications, it's actually not about applications only. So you can specify if you would like to monitor only specific web applications or something like this. So if your employees are visiting your banking web applications that include a lot of sensitive data, you can exclude just this web application from being monitored, and that's it. And what Roy was talking about switching these tabs and exclude or include the monitoring itself. However, like the sensitive data masker, it is the feature that you're probably looking for in this case.
Yeah.
Great. We love the real life examples. As you guys can see, very powerful tool we have here for you. If you think of a question after, or if you would like a free trial, we're here to help you guys. So go to our website, Syteca.com. I'm sure many know that already, but we're here to help. We can get you that free trial right away. We can answer any questions that you might have after this. And thank you, first off, more than anything else, for showing up. We're going to try to do this every few months. So we should have one in a few months from now too. But thank you everybody for joining today. And like I mentioned, Syteca.com is where you can find us. We could be here right away for you when you need anything, even that free trial if you'd like.
Exactly. Anyone that wants a personal meeting, you should contact us and we will happy to demonstrate the system and have a short POC if needed. Depends on the need. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's been a pleasure. See you next time. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you, Alex. You've been amazing.
Thanks, Roy. Thanks, Alex. Thank you, everyone. We're here. Speak to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.